Hello viewers, you're welcome to another exciting episode of She Is, the show that inspires women around the world to believe in themselves despite the challenges that life throws at them. The show is proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. For all your quality videos or productions, call Smile GH on 024 0081 636 or 026 1089 You can also find them on all social media at Smile GH Photography. The show is also brought to you by Templessy Court. Templessy Court is a home away from home. For a place to relax with the family and a place to put your thoughts together, Templessy Court is the right place to be. Templessy Court is located inside Jolu, right opposite the Embassy of Equatorial Guinea. My name is Richmond Opon. After the break, we introduce our guest. Welcome back. If you just tuned in, the show as She Is. Our guest for today is Miss Emefa Akosua Adeti. Ms. Emefa, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
Good, thanks. And you?
I'm good too. Are you always looking this pretty?
I didn't think so. Oh, well, yeah. Larissa gave me a mirror, so I think I look pretty.
Wow,
thanks.
you're looking
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those of you, those of us that know Emefa, we got to know you from Ghana's Most Beautiful. But before then, I mean, can you take us through growing up? You know, where did you grow up, and then your siblings, family, and all that?
Well, once again, thank you for having me. It feels awkward, sitting on the other side. Yes, because usually I should be the one asking these questions. But well, it's good also that you're getting this opportunity to inspire young people and all. I'd say that my growing up wasn't really rosy, nothing close to rosiness. My father is or was, because he's retired, so he's a teacher and he doubled as a chief. And so you can imagine he had like a huge community and a tall list of family to take care of, But my mother, on the other hand, was also really there for us. Now, I grew up partly, or I would say, I was born in the Eastern region, Latte Kapim precisely, so I speak Goan sometimes. And then because my father was a teacher, he had a lot of transfers. So I remember that I grew up also in Piki, because in the Volta region, he was teaching at the training college as a lecturer there. Partly also went to Jasikan as well. There he was at Ghana Education Service for some time. Yeah, and then I moved on to where I had my nursery in Latte, my primary in Piki, then my JSS, moving one spot to the other, and then my JSS in Jasikan, then my secondary school, Malco Girls in Ho. Yes, then I had my HND at Takrady Polytechnic, had my degree at Gimpa, and had my MBA at Gimpa as well.
Okay. Would you say that, because your parents were moving around, did it affect you academically growing up?
No, I must say that, can you imagine, daughter of a teacher?
Oh,
yeah,
yes. Okay.
Yeah. Though he had lots of workload on him, he really never wouldn't accept any excuse. I am the last of 13 children.
Wow.
Yes.
Same mother, same father?
No, for my mother and father, we're only two. I have a brother. But for my half siblings, I've got quite a number. I mean, I won't be surprised to wake up tomorrow and there's another one. It becomes 14. Father would always surprise us, yes. But I'd say that my siblings, on the other hand, for whatever reason, were not determined enough to want to go to school. Me being the last born turned out to be that one person who was dedicated. I mean, the thought of going to school and the thought of a woman, owning her own space was just so beautiful for me at an early stage. I don't know how, but at an early stage, I took a decision.
I can actually see the
right.
outcome right now. Okay, so yes, so you went to Malco Girls and
Right.
then your university.
Well, so I did my degree at Gimpa.
Okay.
I did my HND first in marketing at Takrady Polytechnic. Then I did my top-up degree at Gimpa. And I did my MBA as well at Gimpa.
Okay. So growing up, who did you look up to? Like, who was your, who inspired you?
Yeah, so there was a tall list. So one minute I wanted to be a lawyer. The next minute I wanted to be a broadcast journalist.
Oh, wow.
1 minute I just want to stay being a beauty queen, So I'd say
So
that
actually, the dream of becoming a beauty queen was like,
yes,
from your
I really don't know how, because I tell you what, my father bought a TV when I was in secondary school. He never bought a TV.
Wow.
For some reason, he said he didn't have money for it. Then secondly, he said we're not going to study. I wasn't going to read my books. So eventually when I forced him to buy a TV, it was black and white and he didn't have remote.
Yes.
So TV was sitting there. So I'll sneak to people's house when I hear it's time for Miss Ghana. You know, I was partly interested in their beauty pageants. I'll listen, not because of the glam, but I think I liked the order.
Okay.
It puts women in, teaches you how to walk, how to talk. For some reason, it puts women in order, and I liked it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're talking about your role model.
Yeah, so at a point, I knew that Ajua Safo at the time was the youngest Ghanaian lawyer at the time, so I looked up to her for some time. I looked up to Giftianti for some time when she was a celebrated, Ghanaian TV broadcaster. There were many of them, and as you go, you look up. I didn't have one particular person. It depended on how I felt. And, I like to cut some corners and cut to the chase to see, okay, who is on top now, who's inspiring me. The people who inspired me economically were different, politically were different. So it depended on what.
It actually helps.
Yes.
Okay, so you didn't have actually one person that you looked up to. But growing up, what did you want to become?
I knew that. I heard at home that I think you have a loud mouth, you're very debative and all of that. You can nearly be a lawyer, so I accepted that.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wouldn't let you, infringe upon my right. I would fight for it to the last drop, right? And then I thought I could recite really tall poems as well. So for me alone, I wanted to be a lawyer and a broadcast journalist. I don't know how, yeah. But it turned out that I didn't even become a lawyer. I didn't go to school to be a broadcast journalist, but some way, somehow, I'm practicing it.
Okay. So when did Ghana's Most Beautiful come in? How did you hear about the auditions and all that?
So I was in Takoradi Polytechnic. I was nearly done at school. And it wasn't anything serious for me. Today, I'd say it wasn't a conscious effort. I couldn't even afford the 20 cedis form. Wow. I said it was a friend that bought it for me. She was going for the auditions and she thought that, you're able to stand in front of people and express yourself. I watched it a few times and I thought I could do this. One, because my father is a chief and I saw tradition and culture. I grew up with it. So it was a part of me. So I said, really, if I could live a part of my life on TV and get a car and a crown and a wave for it, why not? Yeah. So I thought I should join in and I did, yeah.
Okay, so it was actually through a friend that you got to
know
about.
I was watching it. Okay. I knew I could do it. But I couldn't afford it. It was a friend that motivated me to do it.
So finally, she bought you the forms.
Yes.
And then you decided to go and.
Yes, we went together. Sadly, she wasn't selected.
Wow.
Sadly.
So take us through audition. How were you feeling? I'm sure when you got there, you saw so many beautiful girls that you thought, okay.
It's true. I remember that at the time in 2012, Volta Region recorded nearly 68 ladies coming to audition only for the Volta Region. And I got there and I saw people who had gone for Malika, who had gone for Miss Ghana, gone for other beauty pageants and were experienced. I saw people with big notebooks. I saw people really well prepared and I thought I had come here to joke, really. I was literally existing. I joined in. I wanted to have fun because then I know I come from a family where there's a system. There's no money at home, so do what you have to do. Go to school, wait for your results, get a job, basically. So what I was about to do, I wasn't sure if they were going to, support me. So I didn't take it serious. I actually sneaked from home, to go for the auditions. So I went. It was just surreal moments, really. First, when you introduce yourself, some people dropped off that stage. I didn't quite understand because there's a form you fill. So it's the introduction part of yourself. The same thing you need to say. I didn't understand why some people fell off, but I guess they were looking out for something I didn't know. And it was quite competitive, I should say. But some way, somehow, every step of the way, I made it. Now, the memorable part for me in the final stage where I got selected, which I'll never forget, was that if Auntie Linda Ampa, the long-standing judge for Ghana's Most Beautiful, asked a question I'll never forget.
Can you tell us?
Yes, she said, now we were left with only 2. We had been slashed to 2.
Wow.
To represent Volta Region. You go through medicals.
Sure, then you were going to your
Yes. I think the other girl was a bit more forthcoming than me. I was more laid back, except I have to do what I have to do, trusting God. Then she said, can you list about a certain number of heritage sites in Ghana. I bet you. I didn't know the difference between heritage sites and tourist sites, honestly. I stood there, looked at her, shoulder up high, thought for a minute. I'm like, nobody's going to kill me anyway. So let's see. I said, well, Auntie Linda, thank you very much for your question. But here it is. I may not be able to help you with heritage sites, but I can give you 1 million list of tourist sites. What about that? Then I started to list them. She couldn't help but admire, my confidence and said, why not? I think that was what really, I didn't think I was extremely better than the other person. Yeah.
So that was the breakthrough.
That was the breakthrough for me.
Okay,
yeah.
So eventually you got in.
Yes.
And then how was it like in the house with the other ladies?
I tell you what, that's like a whole nation under one roof.
Wow.
Yeah, and particularly with women. I always say that I'm a man in a woman's body because I don't think like a woman. I just act like one. I think like a man. Now, it was really tough because this is the time that is a true test of knowing how to coexist with people from different backgrounds, different opinions, vying for one crown and one title. Really, it was a tribal and a regional war.
Wow.
I should say, in a positive way, but some people take it to the extreme because then they get personal. People don't want to go into competition and lose out, so they would do anything at all. But it was a learning curve for me. I guess right now I can live with the devil myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So you got in with all these women. Before initially you were like you were not so prepared for it, but then you got there. You qualified, and then how did it mean to you from the get-go that you entered the house?
I was a child, so it was still the glam. Yeah, okay. I couldn't wait to wave. Okay. That's what I was interested in. I didn't know the level and the amount of impact it was going to do, and so for me it was just the beauty. Wow, see, they dress them nicely. Yes. They get to stand on TV and wave at anybody at all and all. That was the ceiling of it. Okay, but a little part or subconscious of me also said to me that it would give me a much more accelerated opportunity to do what I wanted to do.
That was it.
Yes. I was young, so I didn't know. Now I know, right? So I just knew that it was a platform that I could use for so many things, impact so many. I've seen my father impact a lot of people because he's an achiever, he's a leader. So I know what it takes. It is like if you have the opportunity, to also impact a life. It was a beautiful thing for me, but the real life was after the show. What the crown did for me is what.
Okay, so eventually you won after weeks of
they
performances.
say.
And then you won.
Yeah.
When you heard your name?
I didn't know. I don't know. Guess what? That night, that day, I wasn't well.
Okay.
No, not a lot of people knew that I wasn't well. So we went to the National Theatre and everybody's family and fans gathered there with flyers and all of that. Quite an interesting one. I was like, it's 13 weeks already. I'm tired already. Can we just go home? Can we just finish this and go home? I was at that point of my life. I thought I was physically tired and emotionally tired. I wanted to break free. Now, we went through all the stages and finally they were mentioning names. I could only, though it was choreographed, when they mention your name, stand here. When you hear that you're this position, stand here. At that point, I was tired. I really wanted to go home. So I heard fourth position, third position, and there was usually a particular order where you don't mention the second. When you have two persons, you announce the winner, so that clearly they know that this person is second. But this time around, the presenter did a twist. So mentioned the second position. There was so much noise in the auditorium, I couldn't hear anything. So I saw people were happy. Right, so I was still standing there, still comported and all of that. But I saw people with my picture and placard in the auditorium, still jumping. So this was say about 5 minutes after announcement. Then it dawned on me. It dawned on me with lots of tears. Wow, actually, wow. Yes.
I actually watched that. So
I did you? Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you won. You eventually got the crown. What did you do with the crown?
So much. So much. At the time in 2012, we're championing the Millennium Development Goals, now the SDGs. Now I targeted goal 5, reduction of maternal health, and particularly target was maternal mortality. At the time, it was really rampant in the Volta region and even in the northern part. It was what I was hearing in the news. Somebody was going to give birth and the person died. At the time, I was very particular about women and their health. I had a strange disease called chlamydia that I never heard before. So I sentenced my project more on women and on, maternal health, narrowing it down to maternal mortality. So we did a lot of advocacy. We did a lot from the Volta region down to Kolebu, doing research, showing documentaries on, radio, raising funds to register women on the NHIS. At the time, going to the hospital as a woman wasn't free. So we tried to push it so that when you're pregnant, at least you can go to the hospital without being charged and all. And then even women so clouded with traditional values and culture so much that they're pregnant and they don't go for antenatal care and all of that. Young girls going through teenage, like losing their lives through abortions because at the tender age they engage in sexual, and they get pregnant. It was just like one struggle after the other. Yeah, one struggle after the other. But I'm proud and glad to say that today it's not as high as it was. It makes me feel that the talking actually did something. Yeah.
So how is the life of a beauty queen like? Your daily routines, how was it like for you? Because you had won and now you had to become something else. So how was it like?
Well, I think it's how you're brought up as well.
Okay.
It really matters how you're brought up and your perspective to life. Because many times I woke up not remembering that I was a beauty queen. Yeah, it was a problem. So I was walking in town and somebody say, "Hello, Emefa," and oh yes, I'm Ghana's most beautiful. Yes, So it guided me really. I tried not to sway. I tried to do what everybody had to do. I wasn't done with school. I went back to school. I remember as a beauty queen, my first pay was 400 Ghana cedis as a reigning queen. Yeah.
Wow.
I did what I had to do. I didn't live any different life at all. I just thought it was it's a stage of life. You grab what's in there, learn from it, and then move on. Yeah.
Okay. It's a stage, you have to grab it and then move on from there. After the break, we continue. Welcome back, Miss Emefa Akosua Adeti, former Ghana's Most Beautiful, is our guest for today. All right, Ms. Emefa.
Right.
Okay, so Ghana's Most Beautiful, you won the crown. Now, there are thoughts, there's this perception out there that women have, the young girls, most of them want to enter into pageants, but there's this thing, okay, when you go, you'd have to sleep with a judge, you'd have to sleep with an organizer before you get in. How true is that? And then in your case, did you have to do that before you entered on?
Okay, so I can only speak for mine.
Okay.
Yeah, I can speak for what I experienced. Now the thing is, in whatever so it is that you deal with 2 or more persons, there are bad nuts in there. Okay. I'm sure that 2 or 3 persons might have experienced something. But this one is a reality show. And sleeping with somebody doesn't write the script for you. It doesn't make you confident. It doesn't make you remember your lines on live TV. Yes. Yeah, and it means you really have to sleep your way through. It's a long journey. Yes, so luckily for me, I didn't get that sexual harassment. Now, I think that beauty pageant is not for everybody.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Yeah, because then if you identify what you can do and you're good at it, nobody will blackmail you. Do you understand? I went there, I wasn't ready, but when I went there and I saw what it needs and it needed and it required, I had to read. Sleeping with somebody doesn't make you know the name of your chief or your tradition, and you have to know what it is. Do you understand? And when any organizer or anything, or even somebody giving you a job or giving you something, gets to know your worth, really. If you showed them your worth, they would rather chase your worth because they want to make money for themselves as well. They'll chase your worth and then they would not. I've heard it, I've seen people talk about it, but I don't have a personal experience. Yeah.
Life after GMB, you handed over. How was that day like for you when you were told, okay, so
it's really it's really painful to want to hand over all the attention to somebody, I must say. but it's a beautiful 1 year of your life that you never ever forget.
You go on tours, you go.
Yes,
here and
yes.
there.
When you're coming, there's a standing ovation for you. People need to clap for you. That
But
feeling
did
is
it
great.
take you through some training? I mean, so after the series of programs, performances, and all that, when you eventually become the queen, maybe there are some things you learned that they were not so right.
Right.
Did they take you through some
Well,
training?
by the time you're a queen, you've been trained already. It's the only way you can be a queen, actually. You really cannot go to the Queen of England now teaching her manners.
That's it.
Right. So by the time you're a queen, you know all these things you're supposed to know. Yeah.
So now you handed over.
Yes.
And then we saw you on TV3 hosting some programs.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. How did the hosting thing start for you?
Well, I guess I'm lucky. I guess God has seen that I've worked hard since childhood, from farming to selling on the street and
you
all
did?
of that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, later, my grandmother is a farmer. She sells beans and cocoa. She's been selling it even before she gave it to my mother.
So you helped her?
Yeah, so
Wow.
basically, from all of that, I thought God thought, well, you've paid your dues.
Okay.
You've done well. I think I should make you a better person. And I think it's just TV3 also identifying that I had a potential. They were not done unearthing in the pageant, so they thought they should explore the other side of me. So they gave me the opportunity, to host it. I hosted it twice in a row and even hosted Spotlight as well on TV3, yes.
So when did you actually decide to, leave TV3?
Okay, so this is a home, you never leave it,
Oh, okay.
right? This is home for you. You really never leave it. You only get to do other things.
Okay.
So it's a home I can get to go anytime at all. But then it's a space of life,
Okay, yeah.
right? They need to also nurture new people,
talents,
new
yes.
talents, unearth new talents. So they make something of you. You go there to you also go out to the world, to make it more better for your own self.
That's really
Yeah.
true. Okay, so you are now at
Joy Prime, yes.
What do you do there?
Well, I host the morning show, with Jay Foley. It's called Prime Morning. So it's a lifestyle morning show, a little bit of politics, a little bit of economics, social life, youth-centered, whatever it is. We talk about anything and anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I must admit you are really intelligent.
Oh my, thank
Yes,
you.
are.
Thank you.
Okay, so what other businesses do you do aside?
Well, so
the-
guess what? Growing up, I had huge challenges with my hair.
Okay.
Yeah, so my
What
mother.
about your
Yeah,
hair?
my mother would take 3 days to braid my hair. I didn't quite understand it because it was too hard. I couldn't maintain it. It was just everything no young girl wanted, and so I so knew that maybe when I grow up, I was going to probably come up with a product that will help hair and all of that. But I also found out that I was a great cook.
Wow.
So I thought I'd grow up, starting a catering business and all of, maybe because my mom was one. So I thought. But guess what? I started hair business. Why? Because it was too daunting and challenging to solve your hair problems. So I started with hair extensions because then I was tired of experimenting with my natural hair. So I thought I should experiment more with hair extensions. And guess what? I started with just very little in my car boot.
Wow.
Yes, the car that I won for Ghana was beautiful. It was in the boot. Some friends were laughing at me. They thought that, oh wait, for a beauty queen, you should have some big capital, go and get a shop at a mall or something and start it really plush and nicely. But I could not afford it. I was living life normal, really. So I started in my boot in 2014, 2015. Then some way, somehow, God shone his light on it, and then it grew. I added a salon to it, and so I call it Hairs a la Mode. It's located inside East Legon Hills. Yes, so there's hair extension, the salon services, there's a mini spa in there. Yeah, basically that's what I do.
Okay, so now women, these young girls, they see you and other female personalities on social media, and they feel that okay, so they are successful, and so because of what you put out there, and so I would have to fake it to become like you. What is your advice to young girls who think that success is what they see on social media?
I'm sure that by now there's been a lot of talks and they have heard that nobody puts their bad side or the other stuff on social media. What you see is what they decide for you to see. Now you can pinpoint somebody as your mentor, but you have to choose right. You really don't have to know this person only on social media. You have to go beyond social media and be sure to know that what the person is posting is what is going to inspire you. I think people should look out for inspiration than mentorship. Mentorship should be from home. Mentorship should be from your immediate people. You cannot choose somebody just on TV and on social media. Half of the time, we don't put 60% of what our real self is. I'm even part of it. I don't put 60% of what I am on social media. It's just 40. What I want you to see, because I control my space. Yeah, so choose right depending on what you're doing. If you're a makeup artist, I don't see why you want to choose an actress as your mentor. Choose that person who's made impact in the industry. Do research about this person. It could be here outside of Ghana. Like, read about them and try to learn from them, not trying to be like them.
It all boils down to learning. You just
learn.
have to learn.
You have to learn. Don't lose yourself. Learn for yourself.
Young girls, don't lose yourself. Learn for yourself. Miss Emefa Akosua Adeti. We'll be right back. Welcome back. She is the show, and it's proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. You can contact Smile GH on 024-0081-636 and also supported by Templesi Court. Templesi Court is a home away from home. It's located inside Jowolu, right opposite the Equatorial Guinea Embassy. Okay, so Miss Emefa, did you have what you have now? Easy. Did you
No.
wake up and then you
like you
became
need a whole hour
presenter?
for that. No.
What did you sacrifice to get to where you are now?
I sacrificed sleep. I sacrificed time of playing to go to school. I sacrificed doing house chores at home. I basically lived it. I didn't skip anything. I never skipped 1 to 2. I never skipped 1 to 3. I went 1, 2, 3. Just how it's supposed to be.
How difficult was that?
I must say really difficult. When I was speaking earlier, I said that my father was just a teacher. Really, he didn't earn a lot, but he had a lot of family challenges, especially the extended family. So it's not like he had the money, he didn't want to take care of us, but he trusted my mother for the process. I remember we have to put like kenke on fire from morning and it will be cooked around 4 p.m. So you can't go and be telling your mother that you're hungry because clearly you've seen food on fire. Yes. You have to wait for it to be cooked. And you ate that and that was your lunch, breakfast, dinner together. Do you understand? Followed them to farm as early as 4 a.m. and you're back by 5, 6 p.m. You're going to the market to fetch like cassava to come and cook food at home.
Wow.
It was just, I mean, I don't know how to describe it, but never rosy, not at all. Nothing near easy.
People, especially the young girls, do not actually see that part of you because they haven't heard you talk about, and that is what the Shia show is about. That you talk about all these things for them to know that actually the person didn't just rise up to become who they are now. Okay, so now your advice to your mate, even your mate, I mean young girls and then your mate, who feel that they have failed because they are not where they want to be now.
Okay, I believe that if yours doesn't come now, comes tomorrow. There's the earlier, latter, and former grace, whatever it is. I believe that the day you give up is when the universe will also give up on you. Now there's something called the universe. Well, we believe there's a God and everything, but there's the universe, and the amount of energy you release into the universe is what that comes back to you. It's just like a pressure. You put ball in water, it's the amount of energy you put in there stays underneath. You take off your hands, it comes back. So it's either you decide, do you want to give up and stay hungry for the rest of your life, or you want to, it costs you nothing, still determining anyway. Yes. So how about you keep on keeping on, you know? Just keep on keeping on. It's never a failure till the end. I don't believe it's failure till the end. Yeah.
What has been your biggest dream, and then how are you working towards that?
Well, now I know that I'm nearly enrolling for my PhD. My father was a teacher. I'm sure that if I haven't been a lawyer, I still want to make me better. I am a marketer now. I feel that I can still learn more to probably teach others. I probably would lecture. Maybe after this show, I go to sleep and it will change. Really, my dreams scare me. Yeah, but I hope that my business grows enough so that I can earn more to help people. everybody that's invested or everybody that's hoped in me. I've got workers, and I pray that these workers would also grow in their spectrum themselves. Just have enough for everybody to be happy. Yeah.
Wow.
My greatest dream is for people to be happy.
Wow, your greatest dream is for people to be happy. All
Right.
right, Ms. Emefa, your final words.
Well, thank you so much. I'm sure that this will be nearly my second interview talking about myself. I mostly do not
Yes.
talk about myself, but I think that when it's time, it's time. I believe in timing for every human being. Mine might be through a beauty pageant or through school or anything. Yours might just be something you least expect. So be on the lookout and release really high and good positive energy into the universe, and trust me, everything is possible under the sun unless you're in Hades.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ms. Emefa, for coming to the show. But there's one thing that our guests do not know. After the break, she will find out. Welcome back. The show is She Is. There's one thing that most of our guests do not know about the show, and it is the smartness level quiz. We want to know how smart our guests is. We see them on TV, we see them all over now. We are come to test them. Ms. Emefa, are you ready?
There's an ambush. I'm under attack.
Are you ready for this?
I'm glad that, is there money on this?
There's something.
Okay.
There's something. So.
If I don't know it, what happens?
Oh, you just say you don't know.
Great, let's shoot.
Okay. So, question 1. There's an electric train going north.
Meaning,
I am not done.
don't even get to north. You stop at Kintampo. don't even try.
It is going north, and the wind is going south. Where's the smoke going?
Smoke?
Yes.
I didn't find any smoking there.
Why?
Because there's no smoking. There's no smoking
Hey,
there.
you're smart.
Oh my God. That's for that one, dear.
Okay. There are actually 3 questions.
Okay,
we
let's
have
see.
1. Okay. What gets wetter and wetter when it dries?
Something silly came to mind, but
No, something gets wetter and wetter when it gets dried.
couldn't be water as well. Well, I don't know.
While it dries, it gets wetter, you don't know?
Nothing can be wet and still dry.
It is.
You, after the show, you see something, I'll knock you, eh?
Should I tell you?
Where?
It's your towel. While it dries you, it gets wetter.
Oh, I
So
see.
it's the towel.
Oh, right, yeah, that's true. Well, that's true. Highly debatable, because you never know. I don't use towel. You never know.
Okay. Let me give you a bonus question.
Okay.
So you don't answer full.
Okay, don't ask me when did the Third World War happen, because there was no Third World War.
Okay, if there are 12 fishes, you know, and half of them drown, how many will be left?
There's still 12, because they can only be in the sea.
No, fishes do not actually drown. You
They
know.
don't drown, yeah.
Yeah.
So still 12
okay,
in them.
Question. Okay. What has a head and a tail but no body?
Moncherme. What's got a head and a tail but no body? I don't see how something can have a head and a tail without a body.
You don't know?
Is it a snake?
No, it's a coin.
Oh, shush! Oh, Lord. Absolutely, you got me on that. You definitely got me on that.
All right, so we got our guest. One last thing. Emefa,
Okay.
we are so grateful
Thanks
that you
for having
honored,
me.
you know, our request to come for the show. And so, when you come on the She Is show, you do not leave the same. I mean, you do not leave just like that. So, we have something beautiful for you, and you're going to help me unwrap it.
Wow.
Okay. So, there's something we've been hiding since.
Oh.
And so let's do it together.
So this is an ambush. I finally conclude.
Okay, so
Oh, that's me. Oh my goodness.
And it reads, She Is Show appreciates you. Thank you so much for being an inspiration Emefa Akosua Adeti. We are so grateful.
Oh, thank you very much. Wow, thank you. Oh, I think I should be taking beautiful photos because then I can get a lot of these things. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'm so glad that I came. Thank you.
Thanks for coming too. All right, so on that note, we are going to be ending another exciting episode of She Is. Our guest was Miss Emefa Akosua Adeti. The show is proudly brought to you by Smile GH Photography. For every production, for the quality sound, beautiful pictures, call Smile GH on 024 0081 636, or you can also call them on 026 1089 346. Also, the show is supported by Templesy Court. Templesy Court is a home away from home. If you want that place to relax with the family, it's actually a coded place, you know. So if you want to relax with the family and put your thoughts together, look no further. Call Templesy Court on 0244 292520 or 030 2791 815. My name is Richmond Opon. See you next week.